Pesto Genovese is a pretty popular dish when it comes to pasta, but these days kale is on the top of everyone's list. So we're going to take the kale, mix it with the pesto, and voila, pasta pesto kale Genovese. Couple tips on cooking pasta. One, make sure your water's boiling and you have it heavily salted, like 2 or 3 or 4 tablespoons. When you take your pasta, take it like this and roll it in. See how those noodles are all apart? And then just don't leave it like that. You've got to get everything down in there and toss it around. Keep an eye on it so all this pasta doesn't stick. All right, the pasta's going. I'm going to work on the pesto. I picked up a lot of great pesto recipes at Sante's in La Jolla and Giulio's in Pacific Beach, but kale is really popular these days, so that's why we're going to make this a kale pesto pasta sauce. And we're going to put a little toasted walnuts in there. That should be really cool too. All right, so it's going to take a couple times to get this down. We're going to use a food processor. If you don't have one, you can use a blender. Just put your leaves right in on top. This is the basil right there. And then we're going to take some of the kale and push that down in as well. And it's going to take probably, as I said, 2 or 3 times. Then the olive oil goes on top of that. Your garlic, in it goes. And we'll pulse this a little bit. Push it down. So it's a process. You just go back and forth until you get it all blended in. But you should be able to do this while your pasta is cooking. Now, keep in mind we're using dried pasta. If you're using fresh pasta, cook it at the very end. All right, now do a little seasoning, a nice healthy pinch of kosher salt, and just a dash more. And we're going to put in our Parmesan cheese now. All right, we're getting close. Let's taste here. Good. Remember, Parmesan cheese is salty. One more pulse and a little bit more olive oil. Looks perfect. Let's go check our pasta. All right, it's been about 12 minutes max on your pasta cook. And remember, if you're cooking fresh, it's the last thing you do. All right, for the pesto, what I like to do is go with about 2 to 3 tablespoons per serving. So we've got pasta in here for 2, so we're going to do good 3 tablespoons. And we're just going to toss this very lightly. We don't want to overwork the pasta because we don't want it to break apart. All right, so it's just a nice even toss. We just are trying to coat this. We don't need to over mix it or put so much in. It's about the pasta and the sauce. So here's a little technique I learned. You pick up your pasta high, bring your plate in, and then twirl it just a little bit. This is a presentation, okay? So I know it's kind of silly, but it's all part of that. Now we're going to take the walnuts and sprinkle those over the top, a little Parmesan cheese, and then of course a nice little garnish on top of that. It's a little silly to go so far, but you know, why go to a restaurant when you can make something like that? That is a delicious kale pesto pasta. We made it here on Cooking with Styles. If you'd like the recipe, go to cbsa.com/recipes. Enjoy.